Order the Wytheville Town Council meeting, Monday, September 22nd, 2025, at 6 p.m. in the Municipal Building at 150 East Monroe Street, Wytheville, Virginia. We do have a quorum. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, head by Vice Mayor Candace Johnson.
I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we do have absent quorum and pledge and approval of the agenda. I'll need a motion, please.
So move.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Right, hearing none, it would be a roll call vote. We'll start with Councilman Hand, please.
I abstain. I wasn't here, Madam Mayor.
Patterson, aye.
Taylor, aye.
Atkins, aye.
Johnson, aye.
All right. First thing on the agenda is the motion. We'll need a motion for the minutes of the work session and the regular meeting, September 8th, 2025. Need a motion?
So moved.
Need a second? Motion and second. Is there any discussion? All right, here are none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye as well, and that passes. Next on the agenda is citizens period. And we do have one person that would like to come up, and that would be Diane Izia? All right. If you please come up and state your name and your address for the minutes, please.
Okay, so I apologize. I lost my voice. Not a great day for me to be up here. Diane DiBiase, 290 Golf Club Lane in Wytheville. Recently moved here, and I real simple questions I was trying to find out because I've been on the phone several times with the planning board and HR to find out. We were trying to get to see, I wanted to see if the golf club was on a historical piece of property, or was there any allocated funds through the Wytheville town just for certain funds for improvement. We have 3 high schools and a couple of middle schools, 50 kids during that golf season that we host. And it just takes a beating. You know, they're just kids. We want to encourage them to come out. But just trying to find out, where can I go? It's not for where can I investigate or get educated to possibly, if there's anything in the town that could help me find a way to help the golf course with that, if there's any.
That's probably a good question.
I don't know if that's a...
Have you talked to the people at the golf course themselves?
They're kind of, I think they're just frustrated. And so this is what I did up north a lot, not improve golf course, but I did a lot of development and getting funds for like hospitals and different things. And I said, there might be something, like some sort of, and it might not just be here, maybe it's in the county.
But are you wanting just to fund like the golf students that actually use the golf course,
Well,
or are you wanting to help support the golf club as well?
Well, yes, ma'am. So what my thought was, because we are hosting them for free, and it's about 5 days a week through the months of September to August to November, it does take a little bit of a beating on the golf course. And the funds actually, with the traffic there, but we don't want to discourage the kids to not want to do it. And the parents, we don't want any burden on them. So I'm just trying to find out if there's anything in the town or county, state even, or any kind of grants that I can start investigating that might help, because it's such a great recreation for the community. I love this place. I mean, I moved here and absolutely adore it. I would love to see like it be able to be maintained, because it's getting run down. And it's such a great golf course for the, young kids and even the older, me. It's a good place for people to go. So I just didn't know, that's why I'm here tonight, just to say, take a look here, or because obviously the planning board, I don't think they were able to help me.
One thing that comes to my mind is nonprofits, and I don't know how many of the nonprofits you have reached out to, if any.
Well, is there one in the area that I might be? Okay. And where do I get that list?
Well, I will personally help somebody make a list for you,
Oh, awesome.
and we can get it to you. We just need to make sure we have a good contact for you.
That's great.
And then
Terrific.
you can go to those entities.
Yeah, I would
and
love
try
to.
figure that
Thank
out.
you so much. I know you're busy.
Have you also maybe tried to reach out to the coaches to see maybe, maybe just to contact with them, see what maybe if they might want to do some type of fundraising? I'm not for sure their financial status on that.
I didn't want to stress them out, quite frankly, because I feel like, they come there with just such ease and they're
Right,
very
right, yes, ma'am.
comfortable.
Right.
So I just want to start here. Because
Okay,
I
no, no.
tried like coming and making phone calls, but I'm like, maybe if I just come here just for a couple of minutes
that's
and you
good. I
can
think that's
streamline
great.
it and I don't have to burden anybody. I feel like the parents, they're so lucky to have that. And I don't want it to become like, oh gosh, they're not going to be able to afford something. That's not my intention. I want it to be where everybody, it's status quo. But how can we maintain the course? Because it is a lot of work and a lot of money. So, but give them what, the kids and the community needs.
If you would like to share a telephone number with
Sure.
us, then
Yes, ma'am.
we can get in touch.
919.
Here you go. You might not want to put that online. Here you go, if you want to write it down.
Sure.
And then that way Mayor Taylor can have it.
Sorry,
Yep. Mayor Taylor, yeah. Mayor Taylor, do you have one of your cards you could give her?
I don't have one here.
And you could probably get her email off the line. And you can give it to Mayor Taylor. Would be great. Yes.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you
Thank
coming
you.
through. All right, next on the agenda is to consider the request of Jordan Stipend for traffic control to conduct a struck 5K run, a kids fun run on Thursday, November 27, 2025 at 7 a.m. So I would need a motion, please. I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and second, is there any discussion? Right, here none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye as well, any opposed? All right, that
Mayor
has it.
Taylor, I was thinking before, Mayor Taylor.
I'm listening.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was thinking before, we paid for some of the town employees. I didn't know if anybody was interested. I think we've done that before. If anybody was interested, maybe doing that consideration again.
Well, this just is for the children's one,
Okay.
but you're right, we did. Next on the agenda is to schedule a public hearing for the October 27, 2025 Town Council meeting to consider the request of Kenny Powers for a special exemption permit to allow a homestay use without the host being present, and to allow a use for a wholesale coffee bean roastery for the property locating at 640 and 650 West Lee Highway. The tax map parcel is 41A-3-7, A, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, in a B2 business zoning district. I need consideration by town council to schedule a public hearing for the October 27, 2025 town council meeting to consider the request of Kenny Powers for that special exception permit to allow the homestay without the host and the others that we just went through. We can schedule a public hearing for the October 27, 2025 Town Council meeting to consider the request of Mr. Roger Wyatt for the rezoning of, that's a different one. So anyway, I need a motion.
I move that we schedule a public hearing for October 27th. The Kenny Powers special exception permit.
All right, so we have a motion, do we have a second?
Second, Madam Mayor.
Motion and second. Is there any
I
further?
seconded it previously.
Oh, I didn't hear.
I'm
Thank
sorry,
you.
I didn't hear it either. I
Yes.
apologize. So we do have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Any opposed? Aye. Ayes have it. Next is to schedule a public hearing for the October 27, 25 Town Council meeting to consider the request of Roger Wyatt for the rezoning of property located at 4th North Street, tax map parcel 41A-1-27-28 from R2 residential to B2 business. Need a consideration from Town Council to schedule the public hearing.
Make a motion that we schedule a public hearing for October 27th.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second, Madam Mayor.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hear none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Any opposed? That motion carries. Next on the agenda is to continue discussion regarding the purchase of a boom flail tractor for the Public Works Department. And we have a staff representative, Director of Public Works, Mr. Kevin Hackler, that will come up and speak. Thank you, Mr. Hackler.
No problem. Excuse me. No, I was just asked to come talk about the boom fail tractor. It's just art. I'm sorry I don't have any pamphlets on it or anything. I've
Yeah.
lost them in the,
We have them.
oh, okay, got you.
Yes, sir.
It's just an articulating boom fail tractor that you can get different attachments for. It would help some of our right-of-ways behind the guardrails, up on banks, trim trees. I mean, it would, it could help our, the looks of our town and some of our right-of-ways. But I can, mowing season's kind of over, so maybe I can put it in the budget for next year. I mean, or however y'all want to go about it, I mean.
I wanted to double check. It was put in the budget, is that correct?
I put it in the
You put it in the
budget.
budget, and from my understanding, I could be wrong, there were like 3 departments it would have helped, it would not just help one department, is
Well,
is that right?
we could, lots of our departments could use it. I mean, like I said, it comes with all different kinds of attachments, but right now we were wanting the boom fail because we could trim, Tony could use it in the horticulture department, trimming stuff back, our mowing guys. It would cut back on weed eating a lot and manpower.
Would it be safety, like when you all go up the embankments and things like that?
Well, it could be a safety thing. I mean, it could be safer than trying to get a tractor or having a guy climb a bank and trying to weed eat and use a chainsaw and different things like that. I mean, it would be a nice piece of equipment, I think, and we'd probably get the good out of it. I mean, but, like I said, that's totally up to y'all. I mean, but I probably, like I said, if this budget year doesn't look good, I can put it in for next year's budget. I mean, because the mowing has slowed down, but you still could cut brush and everything else with it. But like I said, I can just tell y'all what it'll do. I think it can help us a lot and cut back on man hours and not kill my guys trying to, you hate to send somebody 60 years old up on a hill and having, when you've got a piece of equipment that can do it.
But it was one of your major requests that you did ask for.
Yeah, that was one of our requests, yeah.
Okay.
But and if y'all have any questions, I mean, I can help y'all any way I can. But other than that, that's about all. I've just only seen the piece of equipment operate once. Seemed like a good piece of equipment. And it's kind of like a Bobcat. You can get lots of attachments and do lots of things for it. It'll push snow, it'll water flowers, it'll do lots of things.
Multi-purpose.
Multi-purpose, something I hope that if we did get it, we could budget a couple attachments each year or something.
Like a long, not right up.
No, not right up front.
Okay.
That comes with one attachment, and like I said, you can get 10 or 20 attachments with it. Okay. So you could get an attachment and talk to the other supervisors and see what would benefit them and, you know, maybe put that in the budget later on down the line.
Okay. Thank you. for coming.
Okay, thank y'all.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you,
Ms.
sir.
Corvin, do you mind speaking with some of the other supervisors and see how it can help them in their departments when you have time, please,
Yes,
ma'am?
ma'am, I'd be
Thank-
glad to do that.
Okay, thank you so much.
I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to see if we could go ahead and purchase this year. I know it's late in the mowing season and things like that, but it could help them with the fall, trimming trees, trimming banks, and things like that. And that way we'll have it for next year, ready to start in spring. And Mike, could it ever help remove snow?
Well, if you had the snow attachment with
Okay.
it, but it wouldn't come with the attachment
Okay.
now.
Okay.
All right, so consideration by town council to purchase a Bloom flail tractor for the Public Works Department. I need a motion.
Ms. Atkins
You
made
did.
one.
All right, so a motion and a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Yes, Madam Mayor, I have some discussion. So I think this tractor is a great piece of equipment, but Steve Moore took it out of the budget. His council didn't take it out of the budget. Mr. Moore took it out of the budget. And it's not in the budget. We don't have $200,000 in the budget for this tractor, so I will support it in next year's budget. But right now, it's not in the budget, and we are already $2 million over budget in 90 days. I don't understand how we could ever purchase something, and we're going to have to put the brakes on spending somewhere, and this is where I would suggest that we start. So I do not support this, but I understand a motion and second is on the table.
Mhm.
This is just my discussion. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
And my comments were going to be similar, that unfortunately, we don't have the money in this budget. But I think between yourself and council members, we just need to make sure it gets in the budget next year and that nobody turns around and takes it out when we don't know it.
Right. I think from my memory that I showed you all the sheet, it was on there. I think it was maybe for some people's understanding from the best that I can recall. And I do think I did state that I think some departments wanted to give up some equipment because I think were under the assumption that they would get a nice raise, which they did get a 4% raise. But I also was one of the council members that said, I'll do the raise, but also still want the employees to have equipment for their safety. I was not going to take any type of equipment, safety-wise or anything like that, away from the employees. And I think that was some maybe interpretation. And like I said, I wasn't on board with that at all. And those promises, that's just my opinion.
The employee safety is very important. I don't want people climbing hills when we can come up with a alternate measure to take care of that. I don't want to have someone contact a family member or someone's been hurt or another instance has taken place. So to me, safety of our employees is very important. You can't put a dollar amount on someone's life.
No, you can't, and I agree with that. But again, we are responsible for the town's money, and we're trying to do the best we can with what we have.
And like I stated, I think some departments were, you need to probably give up this and that, and we'll give you a better raise, and that's not how it was supposed to work.
Is there any other comments? Dialogue? All right, so we'll come to a vote. And this will be a roll call vote. We'll start with Vice Mayor Johnson.
Johnson, aye.
Atkins, aye.
Taylor, no.
Patterson, no.
And no.
Thank you. Next is a request to use remaining sewer inflow and infiltration project funds for the replacement of town sewer line infrastructure. And we'll have a staff report from Assistant Director of Public Utilities and Engineering, Mr. Andrew Austin, please.
How are y'all tonight?
Doing well. Thank you, sir.
Tonight I came to speak to you about the remaining funds that are on the table for the sewer I&I project. I think that all of you are pretty well aware that we've been going through the sewer system and repairing any type of leaks or infiltration that have happened over the years. So the situation we're at right now is we have the remaining grant and loan funding in the amount of $781,584 that can be utilized for construction purposes. So the original budgeted amount that we received the package from DEQ at a 75% match to a 25% local match, they got all the work done with that much savings. So puts us in a little bit of a weird situation. We've got a 5% retainage that's included in that amount to kind of guarantee that that work was done properly. Excuse me. And in addition to that allocated construction funding, we have $61,209 in inspection, $2,110 for our term contract engineering service, and $20,000 in administration still left out. So today, what I would ask is, we got a little bit of weird situation. That funding for that project did not carry over from one budget year to the next budget year. Even though we've got the loan for the total amount for our cost share, that line item did not transfer over because it was a CIP project. What you're going to wind up looking at is CIP budget line 002-04-6900-8435. Did not communicate over what would have been the remaining $864,903. So the options that we have today is to take that $864,903, allocate it back to that fund number so that we can spend down that additional 75% state-funded match with our 25% local match. That will allow us to do the most work that we can possibly get. On the map, we have shown some areas that we have concerns with. We would like to have those inspected, replaced with CIPP, which is a blown-in pipeliner, to stop any type of infiltration or structural issues that would be in there, or to leave this money on the table on a pilot program that DEQ was trying to show us as an ideal candidate for. So tonight, what I believe I need to ask for is, one, whether or not we want to allocate that money to that budget line from last year to this year like we had on the CIP. And the second would be whether we should proceed with that project as staff has recommended in that area indicated on the map in the package.
Mr. Austin, how much was that?
The total amount
Yes, sir.
is $864,903. The state allocation share for that, which would be reimbursed to the town at the end of the project, is $648,677.25.
648,000.
677.25.
I would like to make the recommendation that we do whatever staff has recommended. You know more about this, sir, than I, so I would trust you to make that decision, and I would support you in that.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have a motion on the table.
Was you finished with your presentation?
Yes, I am. I'm sorry.
All right, so we have a motion on the table. We need a second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
I'd like to add that the ion infiltration worked because I had problems at my house,
Oh, yeah.
and you did exactly what you said you were going to do, and it works. And I'm thankful. So let's continue this project.
Well, hopefully this will impact everyone from the top of that sewer shed all the way down to the plant. That was the plan. So
Because I was having rainwater get in my sewage, and that's a no-no.
no. and then it comes out somewhere else in town.
Absolutely, and my neighbor can contest to that. So the project worked, and I'd like to see it continued.
And you said you were having your own issues?
I did,
Yeah.
I did.
I hope that it's benefited everyone in our community.
Yeah.
Any other questions, dialogue? If not, we'll come to a vote. This will be a roll call vote. Councilman Hand,
Aye.
Patterson, aye?
Taylor, aye.
Atkins, aye.
Johnson, aye.
I think I have the next one too.
Thank you for your recommendation. That's important. Thank you.
You can just stay up there. Next is a presentation regarding the engineered tank care proposal for the town water tanks. And again, report by Assistant Director of Public Works of Engineering, Andrew Austin.
All right, so this was the CIP from the Public Utilities Department, specifically the water treatment plant that was put into this year's budget. This is wholly funded for this year in the water treatment plant budget. But I wanted to present the results from our request for proposals that went out on the market and show you what came back, what the staff selection was out of the 2 respondents that came, and share with you the agreement. The agreement is a 10-year agreement. What it does is it'll take all of our tanks that, in the current condition they are, bring them up to your industry standard, aesthetically, structurally, operationally, and maintain those for those 10 years. If you look at the response synopsis, which kind of shows the schedule of tasks that will be done, it shows through the 10 years where we will be affecting change throughout these systems. It does include interior and exterior renovations. It includes repairs as found and necessary. It also includes emergency response when we need them for any type of repairs that might come up. Luckily, we do have a representative for the selected company with us today if you have any specific questions that might come up. The next page in the response synopsis has a cost breakdown between the 2 respondents. And on Southern Corrosion's proposal for year 1, it's $154,371. We actually had budgeted $178,000. And the reason why this is so critical to our system is we do tank inspections required by law on a 3-year to 5-year cycle. The last inspection did not show us what we wanted to see. We saw aging infrastructure and a need for either large capital projects broke out over several years to almost rebuild our tanks, or to get everything in line on an asset management program so that we can roll this into a continual funding and keep everything at tip-top shape. So if you see the 10-year breakdown, you'll see that Southern Corrosion wound up at a lower price point over the 10-year life of the program on this agreement, and the USG Water did. Between that and the scoring, between myself, Mr. Anderson, and the superintendent of the water plant, Robbie Croonage, we had a scoring that put USG in the lead, and we all felt good and agreeable with that outcome. The reason that we brought this to you today is to make sure that everyone is aware that this will not be a CIP going forward if we entered this agreement. This would be a continual line item moving forward for at least the 10 following years. That price increases from the original at a rate of CIP to protect both the contractor and the town, and is calculated in this spreadsheet at a 3% increase. Now, that is an assumed 3% CPI because I unfortunately cannot tell the future. But today, what I would like to ask is if the council will approve interim town manager Sherry Corvin to sign this agreement so that the town can get our water storage infrastructure under a nice term or a nice professional tank maintenance contract and ensure the safe drinking water for our community.
Sounds great.
I have a question. So previously, did we have another company and then, or was it just we did what we had to do to get things done?
It was something broke, we're going to have to try to fix it. There was no real asset management program in place. It's been a passion project of mine for a while, trying to get it involved. Probably for the last 3 years, we've been talking with some of these companies, trying to get something on the books. Because we can tackle these individually. Hire an engineer, come up with a repair plan, initiate this repair plan, and then get a loan to pay for that repair plan. And that takes care of one tank. We have 5, and all of them have to work.
Right.
So in my opinion, and in the opinion of both Mr. Anderson and Mr. Krunich, this is the most sustainable and cost-effective way for the town to move forward with this.
And it is very important for us to take care of our tanks.
Yes, it is.
Thank you. Does council have any other dialogue, questions? All right, if not, I'll need a motion.
So moved, Madam Mayor.
Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, this will be a roll call vote. We'll start with Vice Mayor Johnson, please.
Johnson, aye.
Atkins, aye.
Taylor, aye.
Patterson, aye.
Hand, aye.
I appreciate you taking care of the town. Next is to consider adopting a Monroe Street Housing Production Project Program Design. And we have a presentation by Assistant Town Manager Lane Holton, please.
Okay, so good evening. In your packet, you will see the program design for the Monroe Street Housing Production Project. This is one of the requirements that we are required to submit to DHCD as part of the CDBG grant. Pretty standard document here. It essentially just outlines the role of the town and the construction management and aspects of procurement when we go into bid for the project. So if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions for Ms. Holton? Hearing none. In consideration of Town Council to adopt the Monroe Street Housing Project Program Design. Gonna need a motion.
So moved, Madam Mayor.
Motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Is there any discussion? I hear none. This will be a roll call vote, and it starts with you, Mr. Hand.
Aye.
Patterson, aye.
Taylor, aye.
Atkins, aye.
Johnson, aye.
Next on the agenda is consider the ordinance number 1457, an ordinance rescinding ordinance number 1453, an ordinance that amended and reenacted ordinance number 1028, generally known as personnel rules, regulations, and policies of the town of Wytheville, Virginia, so as to amend and reenact section 4, pay of employees, subsection 41A, salary increases or adoption of employees, such as the town manager, town attorney, town clerk, and town treasurer. So that salary increase for the only adopted employees required town council approval on first and final reading. We have a staff representative by interim town manager Sherry Corbin, please.
Yes, Madam Mayor. As the council might recall, in July of this year, 2025, the council adopted an ordinance that required that all salary increases be approved by the town council. What this ordinance would basically do is rescind that and say that only salary increases for appointed employees, which would be the town manager, town attorney, town clerk, and town treasurer, would require the town council approval. The other employee salary increases, when there would be one, would be approved by the town manager.
And does anybody have any questions?
I do. I have a concern. When we originally adopted this, and I'm gonna make it clear, this, you have nothing to do with this, okay?
I appreciate that.
And it is not anything directed towards you because you do an amazing job.
Thank you.
But in the past, I had questioned some job reclassifications for several people. And it went absolutely nowhere. Nobody wanted to hear it. Nobody wanted to entertain it. And so it wasn't until the former interim town manager came on that Miss Atkins and I had a discussion with him about these reclassifications. I knew that when it happened, it was not right. And I said something about it, and I guess in the terms that being used now, no one had an appetite. But I knew that something was not right, and the former interim town manager, whom I have a lot of respect for, who displays great character and integrity, he took it upon himself and did an investigation. And he found that in that investigation, that those jobs should not have been reclassified. And because of that, we had to pay back pay. Now, do I need to go on? I have a whole list here. Do I need to go on? The reason why that we ask for this is because there were things that were not right that raised a red flag. So I would like to know, so that we are fair in our doings to all employees. I want to know who's getting a raise and why they're getting a raise. Another employee had a $3,000 undocumented raise and then received a COLA within 90 days, undocumented. I received a packet of all the raises. That person wasn't in there. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. I hate to put you on the spot, but were people allowed to come in and ask for raises? And sometimes they were high raises, demand them and get them.
Yes, ma'am.
This should not be, because we provide a COLA for all employees. Do I need to go on? So this is why I want to know, as a council person, what is going on with raises. I want to make sure that we are giving them out fairly and that all employees are being treated fairly. So I'm not for changing or rescinding this ordinance because of these instances. People go in and ask for raises, they get raises. Someone asked for a raise. They were given a 30, I think when I did the math, a 38, or no, a 23-cent raise, when others ask for several $1,000s. That is wrong. So yes, I want to know what's going on with the raises.
Okay.
And I am not for rescinding this.
We appreciate your,
I'd like to piggyback off that as well. I know we were in a meeting, no secret meeting or anything like that. I think we were on budget and finance, and we saw some numbers being tweaked on the screen. I did not approve of that, didn't think it was fair. Brought it up to council as well, that it was concerning. And then I was the one also that spoke to Mr. Moore, and you know, something just was not jiving. Something was just not jiving. I think there were about 4 people that did not get a raise. One did speak to me about it. because I try to be open about things. One was concerned about his friend didn't get it. And so I asked Mr. Moore, and I said, Mr. Moore, something's not right, something's not right. I did ask him, I said, go back and check everything. He checked it, Ms. Hildreth checked it, and one night it just came to me, check the job description. Mr. Moore went back in there, and I said, check what they were previously hired at. And it was physically changed from my understanding, and that is why we had to go back, and I think we mainly all agreed on back paying those employees. But I don't agree with this either. You've got the buddy system. We know that's happened. We had a gentleman come in and say he was going to go somewhere else. He was immediately given, I think, $9,000 to $10,000 raise. Can't remember that right offhand. We also had a woman come in and say that she was a woman and she deserved the raise because the man the position that she filled, he was making that, and that was given. I don't like people making promises and saying you're going to get a raise, and then it comes forth depending on when the training started and things like that, and that's happened. I think we need, when I came on to council, it was going to be fair across the board, crisp, clean, and transparent. And I don't believe in giving raises because, like I said, buddy systems, male or female, and I don't think we are keeping track of the town's money, as we've heard. And it doesn't hurt to look to see who's getting what. I mean, if that's being kept secret, that's just not good. And, depending on the town manager coming in, it could put them in a bind. And I think that I've also spoken on that. It could put them in a hard ship. If you take it in front of council, let them look at it. Why are people getting raises? Why? Some may be free willy to ask, some not so much, but I just think we need to be fair and consistent and not be done behind closed doors when other people say, okay, I'm going to get you this raise, and then it comes. I'm not part of that.
So I would probably say that most of the dialogue you both had was probably absolutely right for the people that were in this position in the past. And Mr. Moore was not in that position, and I agree with that. He was.
Oh, right,
he was
yes,
brought
ma'am.
in totally.
Yes.
And our present interim is definitely not. And matter of fact, we had a little dialogue today, and what is right, what is wrong, But when you have somebody that that is going to do the job that you ask them to do, and share that with council, then that's the way it should be. Now,
And
I
also
don't know.
before, I don't know how many times I was told, you got to trust him, you got to trust him, you got to trust him. And then look what's all being unfolded. I mean, it took months, and some people think we were having secret meetings on that. It was consistent, because it was adamant, because things were changed, and it was not right. Ms. Corbin, what is your take? I mean, on this?
Well, I think I've explained to most of the council members previously. The only issue that I have with this is, with the council having to sign off on it, if somebody's on vacation or something, it could potentially cause somebody to lose their pay raise for 2 weeks. But I certainly understand and see your side of it.
So it's a 2-week holdup is what,
It could be, yes, it could be, because we get paid.
but that's
Can they be back paid from the day that they were promoted, in the event that,
If that happens.
if that happens, if someone is on vacation
Yes, that
or
could
someone
happen.
can't sign off? If that happens, I don't foresee a problem with them being back paid. I mean, I just, and like I said, I have no problem with you. And, had Mr. Moore not been our interim town manager, these concerns that I brought up when it happened,
and I brought up as well.
these
and we brought it to y'all's
individuals
concern.
still would not be at the right pay grade. They would not. had we not brought it up, we brought it up and it was ignored.
I certainly understand your
And-
concerns.
Because of that, you know, we were persistent in getting it resolved. And we were, you know, I'm going to use the word blessed to have someone that was willing to look into it and take care of the situation. And had we not had him as the town manager at that time, they would still be short.
And that took, what, Ms. Corbin, probably over a year?
It took many months to try to figure it out.
It sure did.
Months.
It did, because Steve and HR had to do a lot of research to figure out
Right,
exactly what happened and how much money that the employees were owed.
right. And I think that they, well, I mean, here we are. We're in September of 2025, and they were reclassed, I'm going to say, in, on, or about. I'm going to say March of 2023, if I have that, if I'm correct, either February or March of 2023. And it took us all of that time when we knew that it was not right. And like I said, had Mr. Moore not done the investigation, they still would not be making what they should. The title was reclassed, but the description did not change, is from my understanding that I got from Human Resources. So I'm not for rescinding this. And if I have to come in or come by to sign off on something, please let me know. But I'm not for rescinding this because I want to know, you know, this was a concern to me. When a person is given, they're promoted and they're given a salary of $35,000, but then the other person is starting out $35,000. The other person was started out at $38,000. That's a concern. So, you know, and like I said, you keep us all informed. You do a great job of that, and I appreciate that. Well, I'm not going to go there. But at the same time, you know, I want to know what's going on, and I want to make sure that people are being treated fairly. And once again, it's nothing towards you because you do an amazing job. But I want to know what's going on, so I'm not for rescinding this because of what's happened until we can until we can see and get a better hold on things to make sure things are being done right and in order. I'm sorry, I'm not for it.
Well, and you have your own opinion and your own reasoning, and that's okay. I personally think that the town manager, whether it be interim or not, going forward, there's got to be a way for them to do their job, and that's part of their job. We didn't get voted in to decide what employees get what money. I mean, that's been HR. We have a great HR person, which we didn't have before. We got everything's been put pretty much together in HR so that we know what people are supposed to get, when they're supposed to get raises and all this stuff. So all that is put in place thanks to you guys.
I know I brought my concerns to both of you all, that something was not done right, something was tweaked wrong, and there was no support, and it's taken a good over a year or several months, and that's not how it should be. Immediately, things should have stopped and said, "Hey, something's wrong here. Let's look at these people's salaries." And if it wasn't us for like I said, people think we were having secret meetings and things like that. It was the same consistent meeting here. Let's. 4 people, that's very concerning. That 4 or 5 employees were not done correctly. And like I said, I don't think someone should be able to walk in here, determine of their sex, expect $10,000, and it happens, and it did. As well as someone threatened to quit, and they get $9,000 to $10,000. So, Ms. Corbin, your opinion, if you want to finish elaborating, if you don't mind.
Well, my opinion is that I certainly understand your side and I understand their side. If you have a person in this position that is honest and does things and checks with HR like they're supposed to and just doesn't handle all these raises, then, their idea works great. If you have somebody in here that is just, would revert back to the buddy system, then certainly your idea takes care of all that. So I see both sides of it. And either way, it's fine with me.
It keeps things clean and honest.
I want to make a correction. I'm not determining anybody's raise. I want to be informed. Okay, so let's correct that. That's not here to determine. It is to be informed. And then if there is a red flag or a concern, then we need to have a discussion. So let's make that clear. I'm not here to determine
Okay, I get that.
that. I want to be informed. And as a council person, I sit in this seat to serve the people that put me here. And I am an employee advocate. I want all of our employees to be treated fairly. And so I want to be informed, because if I'm not informed, then I'm not doing my job.
But there's no reason why council cannot get informed without holding on to this job that you want to do. I mean, that is the town manager's.
I'm not holding on to the job, ma'am. I said be informed. And once again, and I don't know how many on the specifics. How is it that someone has an undocumented raise substantially within 90 days? Within 90 days. The other employees didn't have a substantial raise in 90 days. And undocumented. There's no paperwork to show why that person got a raise. There's no paperwork. I asked for it. There's no paper trail. So would anybody like to explain that? Tell me how that is right.
Well, I don't think anybody, I can't speak for anybody, but I definitely don't think it's right. I'm just saying that we have worked hard and got people in places, HR, town manager, that we trust, that we know they know their job, that they know what to do and they know when to reach out to council. And I want to support that. That's what they're here for.
Okay, so then if you support that, then why do we have an interim right now? Why do we not have a town manager if you support that? We should have a town manager.
That's not the discussion on hand.
Mm.
Is it okay if we make a motion, or can I like to make a motion that we move forward? Please, I'd like to make the motion that we do rescind the ordinance and we put the power back where it belongs to the town manager.
I do have one
Within
more
my
question. I'm not the council person who requested that two people's job descriptions be changed. Were they given a pay increase when those were
We're
changed?
talking about HR stuff in an open meeting, which is
That's not HR
inappropriate.
stuff. As
We're
long
talking
as I
about
don't
people's
call
pay
any
raises and
names,
stuff.
sir, I'm at
Well, I have
liberty
no
to
idea what you're
discuss
talking
that.
about.
Mr. you know, I'm sure you don't.
Meaning what? Say what you want to say.
I just said
Say
what
it.
I wanted to say.
Say it.
No, I said what I wanted to say.
Which is what?
What I said was, I'm not the council person who requested two people's job descriptions be changed. That's what I said. That's what I wanted to say, and that's what I said.
So who was the
And I
council
wanted to
person?
know if they received pay increases for their job description change. That's what I asked.
Why don't you ask
So I
the
said
council
what I
person-
wanted to
Why don't
say.
you ask the council person?
I
that
didn't say
you're
what you
referring to?
wanted me to say. I said what
Ms.
I wanted
Johnson,
to say.
Why don't you ask the council person that you're referring to?
I
because
asked the question.
But who are you?
I
referring
asked the
to?
question. I said what I wanted to
Right
say.
now, there is a motion on the table to move forward and to rescind this and put the power back where it belongs with the town manager. That's my motion on the table.
And then you all voted. I voted, Ms. Atkins voted, Ms. Pattison voted, and you voted, sir. You voted
was-
for this.
Yes, we
So
did.
now you've changed your mind and you want to rescind it.
Yes, I have changed my mind, and the reason I changed my mind is because it's become very obvious to me that sometimes we make decisions that are wrong. And when we realize we've made a wrong decision, we need to stand up and change that. So I've been in here having to sign forms for people to get increases where that has nothing to do with me as a council
Oh,
member.
well, I don't
We as
think-
Oh, wait, just hold up. for a
Go
minute.
ahead.
It is the responsibility of the town manager to manage these increases of pay. And you guys say that people have walked in and threatened to quit and demanded a increase in pay. That is not what happened. You're falsely saying that.
We just verified that,
Just
sir.
listen to me. They
Is that,
came
is
in
that
and
did you not, is that an untruth, Ms. Corbin?
They requested.
Is that an untruth?
Nobody threatened anything.
Is that it?
You got to be careful with your words.
Thank
And
you.
Ms.
She
Corbin-
said no, ma'am. She's
The
not a
point
liar,
is,
sir.
It's not our job. It's the town manager's job.
She's not a
And it
liar.
it must lie with the town manager. The motion is on the table. I'm not discussing it anymore personally. That's all I have to say about it. So,
Okay, so
Well-
we do have a motion on the table.
Can we change those job descriptions back that were changed?
it's not on the table. That's not in the motion. There is a motion on the table that does not involve that.
It's because no one wants
There's
to
a motion on
hear
the
the
table.
truth. No one wants to
No
hear
one
the
in this
truth.
room is against the truth.
The
And
truth.
don't ever say that, Ms. Johnson.
The
You
truth.
are out of line.
The truth.
How dare you insinuate
All
that
right.
we
The
don't
truth.
care about the truth? You're
The
out of
truth.
line, period.
But the
There's a
public knows the
motion on
truth
table.
now.
Madam Mayor,
There is a motion on the table.
Yep.
And is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Right here or none, this will be a roll call vote, and we'll start with Vice Mayor Johnson, please.
Nay.
Atkins, no.
Taylor, yes.
Edison, yes.
and yes.
Next on the agenda is consider the ordinance number 1459, an ordinance amending and reenacting Chapter 9, offensive miscellaneous, Article 1, in General Division 1 generally by adding a new section 9-45, camping on public property, or the code of the town of Wytheville, Virginia, on first and final reading.
Madam Mayor, the ordinance that the council has before them notes that it would be illegal to camp on town property, town right-of-way, and it would be considered a Class 1 misdemeanor. This is for public property. The Planning Commission is currently working on a change for private property, and they're working on that, but this would be for public property, so they would not be able to camp on public property.
Do you have any questions? Hearing none, I need a motion, please.
So moved.
Motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Is there any further discussion? All right, hearing none, be a roll call vote. Start with Mr. Hand, please.
Aye.
Edison, aye.
Taylor, aye.
Atkins, aye.
Johnson, aye.
No. Next is to consider adopting the amended town council rules of procedure for 2025. Staff report by interim manager Sherry Corbin. Once again, please.
Yes, ma'am. The council rules of procedure that you have before you is the exact document that you saw at the last meeting. The only changes you'll notice, the change is in green, and it just says that it does not take the consensus of the council to put a matter on the council meeting agenda. But there, it's on page 89, and then it's the exact same sentence is on page 93 of your packet. And that's the only change that was made since the last time, is it would not take a consensus of council to put an item on the agenda.
And that was the only request you had.
I do,
That was the,
right.
that was the only request that I had to make any changes at all.
So I see you made that change
Yes, ma'am.
as it was requested. and that's
Yes,
it.
ma'am.
Yep.
I did.
I do have a question, one more question about this. Previously, it was, you contacted the town manager to approve or disapprove the proposed agenda items according to the items already scheduled for the agenda. So, or if it's determined that the item requires further research by town staff. I noticed that, if I'm correct, you've added the mayor to also approve, so she will have the authority to approve what comes on the agenda. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yes, ma'am. I believe that there's another place in this document that says that the agenda will be composed by the mayor and the town manager. And I think that was just housekeeping in nature.
Okay, so I guess my next question is, if she feels it's something that should not be on the agenda, then it will not be put on the agenda. Am I correct?
Well, it could be put on the agenda, but at every meeting, we have the approval of agenda. So if something would go on there, you know, that the council doesn't want to discuss, it could be removed at that time.
During, where we amend it during the meeting?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And it's very seldom that we don't put something on the agenda that someone wants on there. We try to
And it's
take
very,
council's
I
wishes
mean, I don't
on
know how
there.
many times I ever asked you, maybe twice in years, to,
Yes.
it was something to do with the town or something like that. to
Yes,
put that
ma'am.
on the agenda myself, so. Any other questions or concerns?
Mr. Castle, is there any way that we can keep this open for review? Because there was a couple things I had touched on, I know concerning, you know, in between, there was an incident that happened between a meet and greet and a council meeting of how, you know, there was, you know, some verbal attacks, a jacket being thrown, and a person coming over towards another council person, and then the mayor had to get up and stop, you know, get up and block that person from coming any further. Can we continue to have a little bit more dialogue? Because I don't think there's any type of language per se in that. That's concerning. I know it was concerning for several people that night, how things were handled or not really handled. I was just wondering if we could have a little bit more dialogue in over this.
The matters on your agenda, you can choose to act or not act. You can table it. You can act on it tonight. You can pass it tonight. You could fail it tonight.
I'd like
Or
to
you
table it
can-
and have a little bit more discussion. I think there needs to be a little bit more protection added for council members per se.
And that's the decision of council if you want to table it for another meeting.
Well, I would say that Ms. Corbin, I'm going to put you on the spot, Ms. Corbin, again, I mean, you're limited is about what you can put in that document,
Yes,
correct?
yes, ma'am. I believe in also speaking with the town attorney, we've put everything in there that we could to, since you're elected officials, there is not a lot that we could do. I did put in there that the council could pass a resolution, you know, basically stating that the council may not be happy with the conduct or something of one of the members. But I really, without some guidance from the town attorney, I'm not sure exactly what else that we could put in there to try to accomplish what Councilwoman Atkins desires to be in there, just because there isn't much that we can put in there.
So, Mr. Kessel, so there's nothing, no language that could be put in there for someone being like verbally attacked or just try to keep your, you know, keep your space no matter how heated you get, you know, away from coming towards someone, you know, and name calling. I just can't believe that this day and time.
The rules, and I'm looking at under the purposes of the rules of procedure, it says that it's going to govern the decorum of council members, preserve the cohesiveness of the council, to act as a group. And so it has in there information related to that. But as far as prescribing some sort of conduct in a rule of procedure, no, because, you know, a person is a council person is elected, and so they're elected by the people to make those decisions. So there are other things, other actions, but not that are going to be dealt with in the rules of procedure. So Ms. Corbin did call me and talk to me about that, and I didn't have any additional things to add to that, because these rules of procedure, there are things that you do voluntarily together to try to make things work better. There are mechanisms that are utilized to try to make your meetings go smoother and for all of you to be able to work together more effectively. But in the end,
You can
it's
verbally
control-
attack somebody.
Now,
I mean,
now, Ms.
basically.
Atkins, I didn't say that.
No, but I mean, that if there's nothing per se, I mean, it can be done, it can
You-
still be done.
What I'm saying is, can you address that in the rules of procedure? You could put something in here that says a council person shall not attack another council person. Of course, you could put that in here, but these are rules of procedure, okay? They are voluntary actions that you take to try to work together, okay? And so having something else like that in there beyond the other things that exist with regard to protecting against something like that happening, there are all kinds of other things within the law that exist to protect that. But these rules of procedure are designed to make your meetings flow more smoothly and to help you all be able to work together and to sort of have a common agreement on how you're going to get things on the agenda, how you're going to proceed forward with things. That's what these are for.
We can't put things in there, things that happen outside of council meetings or council.
It was actually in
They-
here,
They would not govern, the
Yeah.
rules of procedure would not govern
No, it wasn't
things that
here.
don't happen during the course of a meeting. They're part of the way you're supposed to act during the courses of the meetings of the council and of the town.
okay.
You're right. it
Let,
happened
so
right
let,
here.
so let me just get this clear. It can, so all heck can break loose as long as it's not in a council meeting or a meet and greet in between the session when it did, and Mayor Taylor, so it's okay, is what I guess I just need to know for myself.
I'm just trying to.
I didn't say it was okay, and you know,
And
you
yes,
know I didn't say that.
And I truly know it shouldn't I know it should
I
not
didn't
have
say
happened,
that,
right.
that was
right.
okay. What I said is the rules of procedure govern actions that take place during the course of the council. That's what they govern. Okay, and I'm not taking one side or another with regard to something that may or may not have happened. Okay, but the question that you asked me is with regard to what is pending before the council, which is these rules of procedure. Can they address it? Yes, they could have some statement in there that says, we agree that council people shall not threaten each other. I think that was the word, or maybe was the word used a few minutes ago. Could that be in here? Yes. But remember, these are aspirational. Okay, they're no more binding and have no more ability to have any additional force than the consent of the majority of council. That's what they are. They're aspirational. Okay, and so hopefully, if you all have a consensus that that's how you want to treat each other, okay, you can do that. And that's a great thing. It's a great thing to have. But these rules of procedure, that's what they govern. Okay? They don't govern things that happen outside of council and outside of council. That's what these cover. Okay?
Now, I could be wrong, but I do have a question. On this one where it says, like one can't endorse, hold on just a second, and do campaigning, on like behalf of themselves. So that's just during the meeting, but someone can walk in here and we can sign their form. I just want to make that clear. Is that right?
Ma'am, could you point me to the
Yes,
proceedings so
sir.
I can read it?
It's on page 14.
Page 14.
Yes,
Okay.
sir,
Let
and
me read it.
it's 11.6.
Okay.
Because I think that was an issue for someone before, not myself, but I just want to make sure that's clear, so someone can come in here and have their papers signed before and during the meet and greet meeting and things like that, and not after. I just want to make sure that's clear language.
Yes, this 11.6 expressly says that it is inappropriate to mention endorsements during council meetings or other town official meetings. It says council members campaigning on behalf of themselves or others should not campaign during meetings. You
Okay,
see
so it
that?
can be done before, during a meet and greet, and after.
With regard to this rule, on these rules of procedure.
Okay.
yes.
So petitions can be brought in and council members can sign them while they're sitting here?
Well, what this provision deals, and remember, what I'm dealing with is what's right before us.
Okay,
What
that's
this
what I'm
provision deals with,
asking.
It says during the course of a meeting.
Okay.
So a meeting is after it's gavelled to start and before it closes. That's 11.6, that's what it says.
I need clarification on that. So I'm hearing what Dackins is saying are people that are not council members coming in. And this just takes care of what council members.
This is about, this 11.6 is about council members, yes, ma'am. 11.6
So
is
it's
about
not-
council members.
Or people, or people campaigning, they can come in before meetings, during meet and greet, and after, so that's, I'm assuming what that is as well.
This provision only deals with council members.
Okay.
So it says, if you'll look, it says council members. That's where it starts, and that's what it's talking about, is council members. That's what 11.6 is talking about. Okay?
Councilwoman Atkins, I just wanted to point out on page 10 of the, under decorum, maybe this will help you. I did put in a sentence that says, members shall treat other council members with respect and in a courteous manner at all times. Failure to maintain decorum may result in the mayor or the vice mayor in the mayor's absence calling the town council member out of order. It says the town council has a discretion to adopt a resolution recognizing the member's failure to maintain decorum during a town council meeting. Please show respect when diverse opinions are expressed. Does that?
Not after what was done that evening, no ma'am. Not for myself. Now, if the tables were turned, I'm sure the tables and things would be different, but not how, I mean, that was bothersome to employees. That was bothersome to myself, and from my understanding, to two other council members as well. And,
Do you have some language that you would like for me to insert?
well, that's what I was wanting to ask, Mr. Castle, and like I said, I would like to table this, have a little bit more dialogue.
Okay.
Have a little bit more research, because I just don't think it was right. And apparently numerous people didn't think it was right that night, but they can continue to get by with it, and I'm just not for that, so.
I think the confusing and hard part of this line item is that we were not in session or whatever, but we were in the room. And that's where the confusion, I think, is.
But yes, ma'am, I'll be honest with you, it should have never happened. It should have never happened, regardless where we were. I'm sorry. I'd like to make a motion to table this, let Mr. Corvin and, Ms. Corvin and Mr. Castle do a little bit more tweaking on it, considered of some issues that's happened, because probably will happen again, and people need to be protected.
We have a motion?
So move.
Do we have a second?
Second, to table it.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion? I could go either way, so if we have people that want to look into it a little deeper, even though I'm not sure what the thing is, I'm okay with tabling it. My discussion. Any other discussion? So we'll do a roll call vote. Vice Mayor Johnson?
Johnson, aye.
Atkins, aye.
To
Table.
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 Taylor, aye.
Patterson, aye.
Ms. Han, aye.
Sorry, you got more work to do.
It's okay.
All right, so next on the agenda is Chief Deputy Clerk Randy Jones with upcoming meetings, please.
I have a really long list.
You go
Sorry.
ahead.
I was wondering where that was coming
It
from.
might take a while. The Joint Industrial Development Authority of Wythe County will meet on Thursday, September 25th, and Thursday, October 23rd at 3 p.m. here in the council chambers. The Wytheville Town Council and Wytheville Planning Commission will hold a joint meeting on Thursday, September 25th at 6 p.m. at the Wytheville Meeting Center. The Safety and Events Committee will meet on Tuesday, October 7th at 10 a.m. in Conference Room A. The Rec Commission will meet on Wednesday, October 8th at 5:30 p.m. at the Wytheville Community Center. The Wytheville Planning Commission will meet on Thursday, October 9th at 6 p.m. here in the council chambers. The Town of Wytheville municipal offices will be closed and all services curtailed on Monday, October 13th due to the Columbus Day holiday. The Wytheville Town Council meeting
scheduled for Tuesday, October 14th, has been canceled. The Wytheville Redevelopment and Housing Authority will meet on Wednesday, October 15th at 12 p.m. at the Housing Authority office. The New River Regional Water Authority will meet on Thursday, October 16th at 10 a.m. at the water plant in Austinville. The Wytheville Board of Zoning Appeals annual training meeting, scheduled for Thursday, October 16th, has been canceled. The Downtown Wytheville Incorporated Board of Directors will meet on Monday, October 20th at 5:30 p.m. at the DTW office. And the next regular scheduled Wytheville Town Council meeting will be held on Monday, October 27th at 6 p.m. here in the council chambers. That's all I have.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, next coming up is council member time. Vice Mayor, do you want to start on that side?
I have nothing at this time.
Seconds?
Yes, I'd like to say I went to the service for the remains that were found over a year ago. World War II veteran Private First Class Corvin was brought back and had a service at Groves Funeral Home, and then was followed out by Crockett to the service for burial service, and it was very moving, very touching. They had waited, I think, several numerous years, and like I said, they just apparently identified his remains just over a year ago. I think it was the same day.
I think they said it was 80.
Yeah, so glad he's back home, and thank him for his service. And I appreciate the work being done on the curb and guttering going down by the church, Real Life Ministries, and West North Street. So that's coming along very, very well. And that's all I have.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
And I don't have anything, so I'll pass.
Ms. Corbin, I had two citizens bring to my attention that the parking spaces here at the municipal building aren't marked clearly.
Okay.
So would you ask Public Works just to take a look at the parking spaces and see if they need any attention?
Yes, ma'am, I'd be glad to.
Thank you. That's all I have.
I don't have anything. Thank you, Mayor.
Madam Mayor, I do have something. Thank you and your staff, Chief Hash. I know that they were out early this morning dealing with the situation, and I thank the good Lord that everything worked out, that they're to their benefit, given situation and circumstance, that everybody was safe. And so I'm thankful for the time that they put in getting that situation resolved, and I'm thankful that they were that they remained safe through the whole situation.
Thank you.
Anything else to come from council? If not, we are adjourned.